So let's go first to the slides to see what exactly we are going to cover today. So we'll share. And again, just give me a sign as soon as you are going to see the slides.
Yes, we can see it.
Excellent. So for today, what are the key topics? What we see here already from the picture is, what is strategy? Strategy is one puzzle of the whole framework, how the company actually operates. And you can see the dart up. So whenever we set up the company, or every company has a certain purpose to grow. It's not always the purpose to grow in the profit, in the revenue, but often is one of the key goals. So for us today, this is, take it like you would play chess. If any one of you likes to play chess, so it's, if we don't have the proper strategy, then we are going to be lost when the match comes or when the game starts. We need to do the preparation in advance. So we will check the whole company framework, what everything needs to be there, what is the foundation that the company is going to start operating well. Emphasizes on well, we can operate also without a framework, but sooner or later, this is going to hit us back negatively, unfortunately. Then we go to the strategy. So why the strategy? What is the strategy at all? Why we have many different strategies, which of them are of key importance, and what actually is part of the strategy? Is this a sentence, a statement? Are these certain goals behind? So really what we can understand under strategy. And in the last step, let's do it. So we have one example where the strategy is missing. We will go into the breakout rooms and you can use your imagination fully. There are no right and wrong, but it's much more, let's try it out. Let's see how this works. So how to start? If we take the iron ingot, so it's like the piece of iron. The iron would cost probably today around 100 euro. If you are a company and you would like to do something with this iron and you just decide to make a horseshoe out of it, then suddenly your company would have the value of 250 euro because out of this 1 kilo iron, you produced so many horseshoes that the value of these horseshoes is 250 euro. If you would decide to make needles for sewing, either hand sewing or with a machine, then the products you are going to sell would be worth around 70,000 euro, which is quite a difference to 100 or 250. But if you decide that you have expertise, that you have the right technology, and you would like to explore the areas of watchmaking, and you decided to make this small piece, which is the spring for the watch, then suddenly your products would be worth 6 million euro. So much is the value add out of 1 kilo of iron. Now, what can we learn out of that? The value itself is not in what knowledge we have, it's not in the product itself or technology itself, but what you are going to make out of it. That's why allow yourself to dream high whenever you are thinking about the strategy goals, or whenever you think to make a startup, to really start your own company. Always think about what everything can we do out of the certain knowledge, technology, the assets that you have, the people as well, the resources that you can collect together, because we see that the value created at the end can be so different. Now, as we need to understand what we want to make, what is the purpose of the company, that's very important for every and each company, and it's part of the company's framework. We see here the compass. So without the compass, we are lost in space. We don't know where to go. So we need to have a kind of the compass. What is the compass for the company? The first question is, what's our purpose? So if we would like to set up the company, why we are setting up the company? why we exist. And if we think about eBen, now, can anyone tell me what's the purpose of eBen work? So what's really why you actually exist at eBen? Huh? Mariam?
Hi. So basically, the purpose of eBen is to promote employee engagement in other companies.
Very good. Thank you very much, Mariam. Bravo for being the first volunteer to share. So really good. Appreciate a lot. And we can see that you are very much aware of what you are doing and where you are actually working or having internship. Meaning we know what's our purpose. We know why we exist. So that's the first step. Usually the purpose, we do communicate. So we communicate internally and we enhance this purpose with the vision. So the vision for us, it's something really to inspire us, but it's also like a North Star, like on the compass, the North Star where we actually want to go. So it's our guideline. It's this high level, long-term vision where we would like to come, where we desire to be in the future. And it's, as it's stated here, we use vision internally mostly. And it's to inspire people and to inspire the management that we can drive the strategy forward to achieve our vision. Next to vision, very commonly, you will also see the mission of the company. And then you will say vision, mission, that's so similar. Yes, it is. So the mission, it's one step further. If the vision is used much more internally to inspire us and to drive the strategy, then the mission, it's actually why we exist on the market. So what we are bringing to the market, what value we are creating and bringing to our clients or to our partners. So what they can expect from us. And the mission is often communicated externally so that our clients, if we say in the wider name of the word, so could be partners, could be suppliers as well, that they know exactly what to expect from us. And vision and mission are very commonly similar in its message, and they are created in the way that both together actually support the purpose. So if we want to explain the purpose is often explained by vision and the mission of the company. Now, when we have the vision and the, there is Zahra coming as well. When we have the vision and the mission, so the purpose of the company, now we know where we would like to land in the future. So we have our vision. Is that enough? Of course, it's not enough. So it's always when we have the goal, the next question is, how am I going to achieve that goal? So we need a path. And the path, how to achieve the goal, that's our strategy. So it's always how to achieve our vision. Whenever we formulate the strategy, we saw that the vision and the mission, it's a statement. It's like Mariam, you mentioned before, it's a statement, is a sentence, what is actually our purpose, why we exist. When we speak about the strategy, it's not so easy anymore. So one sentence, one statement is not going to help us. That's why normally under strategy, we have so-called strategic business objectives. You will often see this abbreviation SBO. And this means what? What are the key objectives that we would like to achieve in a long-term strategic way? How long-term? Often you will see strategies that are set without the time frame. So without the time frame, that would be, we aim to be number one on the market among boutique providers in the hotel services. So it's not time bound, but it's actually almost like limitless time, which means this is our final objective or aim where we would like to end. But very often, especially to come to this final objective, we need to have shorter term strategic goals. And commonly in practice, we are preparing 5 to 10 years old goals or 10 years goals. Or if we look now into the UAE, I assume that some of you, I mean, the company is established in UAE, some of you might be sitting in UAE. So we have at the moment UAE Strategy 2071, which means we have 50 years of the UAE anniversary this year, and the strategy is set for the next 50 years. Can we set a very precise time-bound strategy for 2071? Probably not. Yeah, I see that some of you are showing the sign that no, definitely not. Why not? 50 years, it's enormous amount of time. If we today don't even know what's going to happen in 5 years, what technology is going to bring us in 5 years, then how can we know what's going to be in 50 years? So that's why we need to have shorter term goals, and the 5-year strategy, also 10-year strategy, is a very common in business. So strategic business objectives are usually bound to 5 or to 10 years. And when we have the strategy, how to achieve our vision, then of course the next question is, with what resources? And this normally comes to people. So of course we have, if we are production company, machinery, but in every and each company, we still need people. Despite the robotics and IoT and AI, artificial intelligence, we still need people, because people are leading and are supporting or operating the whole technology. And the structure is what resources, in what kind of organization we need to have in order to implement the strategy. Now, if we go back to the really foundation of the practice in setting up the companies, what normally happens? There are two high minds and they would like to set up the company. What's the first question they ask themselves? Who is going to be the CEO and who is going to be the chief technical officer? So where they actually start? Often people start with the structure first, which no, it's not okay, because then everything would be limited or moduled according to the structure. So we should start with our purpose, why we are doing something, so why we exist, then how can we achieve our vision, so what we want to achieve in the future, what we desire, how to achieve that, and with what resources, because then we really see what knowledge we need, what expertise we need, and how many people or what technology we need to deploy. Now, that's a bit rough process only. Let's see what that means in practice for the specific company. Here is a nice quote stated, "Culture eats strategy for breakfast," from Peter Drucker. So what that means? We prepare the strategy and it's not worth anything. Is that possible? But it's not exactly like that. But what stands behind? Drucker said, people are going to either drive the whole organization and achieve our goals according to the values that we are going to set in the company, or they may also break everything and not achieve the goals that we set. So we still have the purpose, the vision and mission, the strategy with strategic business objectives and the structure. But what is essential that this is going to operate are the values that we are going to set in the company. And this is when we come to so-called softer area, or today we call this also human skills or human capital. It's not only people, but it's what environment we actually create. Most of the companies, or we can even say every company, have values. One thing is they have values stated on their websites, but even if the company doesn't have any values stated on the website, they are living certain values. And those values are going to create the culture that we are experiencing. So when we come into eBen or when we collaborate with you, no matter do you tell us your values or not, we are going to feel the culture. So how you work together, how you collaborate, how you interact with us. So what's this culture? And we can conclude to certain values. So what is important in reality or in practice? That values that we set for our company are really coming from all the people, are not only set by the executive HR officer or by the CEO, but are really put down or formulated based on what we observe among us. Sometimes we also set the values that we would like to live. So we don't have them yet, but we would like to live them. Commonly, when this is the need. Imagine that eBen work would be merged with another company because you are so successful, that you are so attractive to the others, that somebody else would say, hey, why not to merge our two companies and we are going to generate much higher value? So what would happen in that case? We would have two of such of circles. We would have your environment, your corporate culture that you are living at the moment, and we would have another company corporate culture as well. So now, how to merge both together? Probably none of the companies would be willing to give upon all the values that they have been living. Neither would be willing to adopt the other company values because you are successful and you know which values made you successful, create the environment where we can be successful. So commonly what happened? Gathered two companies together, or a new startup would be the same thing. And we think about what values are actually representing us and which values we would like that would represent us. When we state the values, we need to create behaviors upon that. What that means? If our value would be honesty, how we need to behave to be honest in all different levels. And that would mean that among us peers, so colleagues at work, we need to speak openly, transparently. We need to provide open feedback, either on a positive or on a negative side. So that would be an example of honesty toward peers. What would be an example of honesty? What behavior we need to live toward the clients? Let's say something bad happens. So even in the crisis or difficult situations, we speak to the client, we are there for them. So we are not hiding, there is a claim or reclamation, we don't disappear, but we really face the client. So that could be behaviors. And those behaviors are going to, through certain time, create corporate culture. When you think about corporate culture, we cannot create it over the night. It doesn't work like that. It takes time. How long? Really depends. But usually from 6 months to 1 year, we are already going to see some results, how people behave. So we need time to create corporate culture. Over the night, nothing happened. We can create values in a day or two. We can create what behaviors we expect according to those values. But the culture needs that we live those behaviors on the daily basis. And how we communicate, how we collaborate, how we interact with each other, this is going to determine what is our corporate culture. And as Peter Drucker said, culture eats strategy for breakfast without being aware of our values and expected behaviors. Even the strategic goals, the best strategic goals, may not work. So the most important, when people come into the story, we make it or we break it. Even the best technology is not going to solve the thing, but we people can. So we should never forget the human side. Now, why we need the strategy? Well, already in the invitation was said, yeah, without the strategy, we cannot execute. And without execution strategy, it's only the words on the paper. So what is strategy for us? If we take a boat, without the strategy, we are like a boat without the rudder. So we cannot navigate. We don't know, shall we go north, east, west, or south? We cannot go because we don't have the strategy. So strategy actually gives us the way where to go. And as it's stated by definition, it gives us certain set of moves or guidelines or business approaches that we are using to achieve the goals, or that we are using to steer the company toward the goals. Now, what are the key questions for us when we think about the strategy? Those three areas. Where we are now is the current situation as it is. Where we want to go is the future should situation, which is usually higher, so it's more demanding. And the question is how we are going to get there. So what can we do to get there? And the strategy, we can also consider it's like, like playing a certain game. Or if you think about the football, now recently was UEFA, the final match. So it's like we need to have a game plan. There need to be certain guidelines. Where are we playing our game? So strategy is also like a game plan for the management. When we think about the strategy, we are always thinking about, okay, who are our target customers? So who is our target audience? How I need to behave, what I need to provide towards my target audience in order to achieve the vision. Then how we want to position ourselves on the market. Do we want to be number one on the market? Or do we want to be a leader on the market in the specific niche area? Or we want to be among top 3 in a specific area? So it's how we want to position ourselves. And then what we need to do internally. So how to operate in order to achieve that. Usually, when it's stated here, address all stakeholders. Would definitely be clients, so our customers, our future customers as well, would be our suppliers, would be our colleagues at work, they're also our first customers, would be our shareholders or our owners, management probably as well, would be, we mentioned already, suppliers, partners, if we have certain partnership as well. Market position we mentioned, so how we position ourselves, and from operational point of view, now let's write it down on the board to have a bit bigger picture. I'll just stop sharing and we'll come back here. And you can see the board, right? So if we think about the strategy, one is the main business strategy. And the business strategy goes into direction what we just mentioned. So address definitely our clients. So all stakeholders, among them, clients are number one. Why? Because they actually, we serve them for the exchange of the certain money, which means the revenue. We are there for them, not vice versa. Then how we want to position ourselves on the market. Meaning, know the benchmark, know competitors. Is somebody already doing the same thing, what we would like to offer? How they are doing that? Go there, try out their services or products. Are they in the same way as we would like to be, where we can distinguish ourselves? What else can we bring them? Then the third one would be operational, meaning how we need to organize ourselves in order to achieve the vision. And if we think about operational strategies, what everything is here under operational. Today, we often hear for marketing strategy, or you get maybe a lot of offerings on online marketing strategies. So it's marketing strategy is definitely one of operational strategies, but needs to support the business strategy. So business strategy is the top one, is the overall one, is the one that is leading us toward the vision. So it's serving the purpose of the company. But in order to fulfill or to achieve, to implement the business strategy, we need to go into the details, because the devil is always in the detail. And if we just check all the departments in the company, then we'll probably hit most of the operational strategies. We just mentioned marketing strategy. Is the one that supports the business strategy. So the business strategic objectives, SBOs, are the key line, or are the key foundation that marketing strategy needs to look at. So what we in the marketing department need to do in order to support those strategic business objectives. What else would you say? So which strategies would you also name under this operational part? What ideas would you still have? Any other ideas next to the marketing? And you can just say it.
Perhaps investment or finance.
Bravo, very good. So financial investment strategy.
Yeah.
Very good. Bravo, good point. What else? When we are offering our services or products, what we actually do, we sell them, right? So commonly, we may have either part of marketing and sales strategy, or actually totally separated sales strategy.
Selling strategy.
Exactly, sales strategy. Then think about the people. So people are the one who are actually implementing everything. So it's usually we have the HR department, or learning development department, or human capital department. And they are those who are taking care of hiring the right people, developing the right people, and giving them additional skills, attitude, and the right technology in their hands that they can implement the strategy in the practice. So quite common it's also that the companies have HR, human capital strategy, so everything what has to do with the people, especially those companies that are highly dependent on the skills of the people, so on their high-skilled force. And even if we look today into the high technology companies, and especially at the moment, we are talking a lot about the fourth industrial revolution of the high-tech industries. The question is still, is it about the technology that makes companies more agile or more productive and more successful, or are people making the companies more successful?
The people, of course, the skills.
Absolutely, thank you for that. It's even if we introduce the best technology, the latest technology, if people are not going to adopt it and utilize it, and it's exactly what you said, their skills, are they capable of utilizing this latest technology? If they are, then the company will be successful. If they are not, then we can spend a lot of money for technology, but we will never benefit at most out of it. So we can just say in general, human capital, or sometimes we hear HR strategy. And we could continue here. Would be supply chain strategy. If we are producing something, could be production strategy, lean organization strategy. So there are many of them. It's just understanding for us. There is one business strategy, and all below are just the sub strategies, so that every department knows how to work, how to do the job in order to support the main business strategy. That's the whole story behind. Any questions so far or any comments? I don't know if this is a good sign or not, if there are no questions.
No, all clear. We consider it this way.
Okay, thank you. Great. So it's,
Sorry, my
please,
question,
of course.
like when it comes to
Hello, can you hear me?
technology, doesn't this like the, make us go to the structure, how we structure our company, and then how we can execute it? When we like, if we have like a good base of structure to the company, so we can, I don't know, we bring like the best technology, then we're gonna select which people are more capable to use that technology. So the company gonna go, or I don't know, spread or blown, if I may use this word. So this is like, it's not like if the technology doesn't, we may say it's like the technology is going to be always good for the company, but like it depends on how the people are open to use it or how capable to use it. It's not like a bad side, a bad sign or a bad how to say approach to bring the good technology to the company, but like it's always like a point how the structure of the company is based on, or how it's created in the first place. I don't know. I have just like this idea.
Bravo, Nadia. Really well explained what you said. Yeah, it's absolutely true. It's also interesting when you said it's not a bad thing when technology is introduced into the company. And it's today often that people are afraid of technology. So why? Why this happens like that? Think about what high technological companies or how they communicate today. Many of them, I will not say all, but many of them, they say, we are going to disrupt your world. Do we like to be disrupted? What means disruption? Disruption means that you are actually destroying everything what we have at the moment. Do we like that we are destroyed at the moment? No. So instead of this word disrupt, because it is a negative word, it would be much better to just use we are going to change the way how you are working, which means we are going to help you to change the way that you will be more effective, efficient, faster, agile. So it's more that there would be a benefit for us. But unfortunately, it was set in the Roman times already that people need bread and the games. So it's whatever it's really dramatical, this sells. That's why companies are still using the words like disruption, although they are meant pretty negatively, or let's say maybe they are not meant negatively, but they are perceived negatively on the client side. That's why I absolutely agree, Nadia, with what you mentioned. Technology is good. Technology is great that it's coming to the companies.
More like about how we take the technology, like the mindset of the people take it as a tool. Tools are always good for humans to, I don't know, progress, to, I don't know, be open more to use things. But like it's nowadays, it's like there is a talk about the AI, how the AI can surpass the humans. But like if the human think that the AI is a tool, it will never be like who's gonna be first. So it's like ages ago or decades ago, we always like humans. Who created the AI? Who created the technology? Humans. So why there's like this, I don't know, fear to be or to use more and more. So I was just like, I wanted to point this out.
Thank you, Nadia. Yeah, that's a key question. So, and you said it. People invented the technology. People invented the robots. So people invented it in order to make people's life better and easier. And very simple examples. So if there is a very dangerous environment with dangerous chemicals, why not do robots do the work with those chemicals rather than people who can get hurt? So that would definitely help. But there is another catch behind. So it's whenever we speak about the artificial intelligence, the development of technology is immense. It's really fast. The pace is enormous. Is development of people equally fast? Unfortunately not. So there is this gap that technology is growing, is developing, but people mindset is not developing with the same pace. And probably the fear that exists there, it's maybe, or you are very young, so I don't know if you have seen some of the Terminator movies or maybe the last ones. So what the fear it's also coming from is that technology at certain point will be so advanced that can rule us if it comes to the wrong hands. So it's a question of the ethics and the moral as well. Marilia, please, yeah, you raised the hand, sorry.
No, I just wanted to add to that. I mean, I think people are also afraid not only that it will be overcome by the technology itself, but a lot of people already lost their jobs over time because of the technology. So now machines can do, I mean, you still need humans, of course, but way less. So of course they're afraid. Just add to that.
Yeah, good point. So it's like two areas in what, Nadia, you already mentioned. We are afraid in certain ways. Why we are afraid in certain ways? Because it can be misused. And let's say ethical development of the standards, it's not, we don't have the same framework worldwide. We don't have it yet. If we would have it, would be much easier. That there is nobody, an evil person who would misuse technology against the other people. That's of course one aspect. And the other, what Marilia, you mentioned, and it's very true. So if the technology is going to replace my job, that means what? I don't want that technology. And we had a lot of cases with the clients where it was, especially in production lines, new technology was put in place. Rita, I see you that you raised the hand. I'll come to you, don't worry. New technology was put in place and people were sabotaging it just to show that it doesn't work. So when we think about human capital strategy, operational strategy, these are the points that needs to be addressed there. So coming back to Nadia, when you said, so is this part of the human capital strategy to teach the people about the benefits of technology, skill them up that they can use the technology, but also what Marilia, you said, that it's not about firing or getting rid of people, but it's about checking how I can upskill people today in order to place them somewhere else in 2-3 years. So the HR executives should not be reactive because that's too late, but they should actually think proactively. That's why it's important that they're all involved in the management decisions as well. That's why all the strategies are supporting the main company strategy, because what's going to happen, we need to take care of that. We may not always be able to place every and each employee, but we also know that there are other opportunities how to take care of them. So we can upskill, we can recommend, we can search for new companies, new positions for them outside our company. So it really depends how social strategy looks for the company. And maybe in Europe, the social system is a bit stronger. And maybe, just maybe in the States or also here in the Middle East, the social framework is leaner. So it's not so strong. But this depends on the company as well. So it can be company in the Middle East that it's really going to take care for every and each employee that might be made redundant. So it really depends on the company and the values they're living. Rita, sorry for waiting.
Thank you. And I have a question. Does that mean for a business strategy to be efficient, it has to keep the balance between the human capability or the capacity and by the, in a balanced ratio between the technology and the human resource in return?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So there needs to be the balance. And it's good that you ask that, because what we see today, or maybe you experienced already, or you heard from somebody, when company implements the new, for example, software, we had a lot of cases where the companies implemented either customer relationship management systems, SAP, Oracle, whatever. So when we have a new software system in the company, and then after a while, a year or two, what we notice, that some people, some departments are using this new software, but there are still some departments who are using the previous, the old one. Is this efficient use of technology? Definitely not. Because some of the people and departments adopted, but some didn't. Why not? Apparently, they have been strong enough to show that the new software doesn't fit for them. Or let's put it differently. Management didn't prepare a proper strategy and they didn't implement it with the people so that everyone would be skilled, would be learned how to use it, and then really implement it at the end. But usually in the companies, there is high thrill or enthusiasm from the beginning. Let's implement. It's going to be great for us. And then in a few months, we just forget it. And some departments implement and some not. And the result of it is that we have 2-3 systems, sometimes even more in the companies, running in parallel. We don't get the right business data as the result to work with. And usually people need to do much more work because of that, because you need to explain or somehow align data from different systems. And it never comes under the line on the same number. And this is the biggest issue. So that, yes, technology, yes, but in parallel, as you mentioned, Rita, we need to balance the human capability to use this technology. Otherwise, the transformation strategy to higher technology is not worth much. We spend a lot of money, but we didn't capitalize on the other side on it. Unfortunately not. And there was another question. Please. Anyone, just go ahead. I see that technology people, it's really interesting for you. And it's probably today a buzzword, and it's probably something that we always hear. Am I going to lose a job? Is this going to cancel positions? For sure, some positions will be canceled. That's for sure.
Yeah, but also a lot of, sorry, there's somebody else talking, sorry.
Who's that?
I think it's Zahra. She was trying to talk before, right? Is
Yeah.
it you, Zahra?
Hello, can you hear me?
Now it's great. Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, great. I was wondering if you, hello, first of all, thank you so much for the session. I was wondering if you can elaborate more about benchmarking, because I don't think I understand it clearly.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Al-Zahra. So when we speak about the benchmark, it's much more to check what the others are doing. So it's really, let's know the competition well. So let's know what the others are doing. Benchmark, it's maybe the word, it's much better to use the word, let's compare ourselves to the market, to other providers that are on the market. So we need to know who is there offering similar services as us, what kind of services they're offering, how they are offering them, how they are organized, and how we can be better. Because if we will do exactly the same thing, then what's going to distinguish us? Not much. So we really always need to think, what else can we do? Why are we different than the others? Now, how to do this comparison? It's a difficult part. Sometimes companies actually pay for that to get a market analysis, but you can do it by yourself as well.
Competitive
Definitely.
analysis, right?
Exactly. That's exactly, Christine. So it's like, we need to check what else is on the market. And there is one tool that we often use, and it's, let me show here. So you probably all already used the SWOT analysis, right?
Yes.
SWOT analysis is something it's almost the base or the foundation for any analysis we are doing. Also,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to cut you. If you can pin yourself, so your screen would get bigger for everyone to see.
mm-hmm. Thank
Yes,
you, immediately. Just.
Yeah, it's next to your image. There's those.
I just need to find myself first.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but it is pinned. Because now I am on the screen. Because I have the pin at the moment. Should be. Now it's removed. So let me put again.
Everybody can pin her as well. I think will be.
Yeah, you can pin her yourself. So Barbara, if it's not possible, just please guys pin Barbara's screen so you can see the screen bigger. So she
can you see it now?
Yeah, we can also click on the view on the upper right side. And if you put the speakers, I think it's gonna be the full screen.
Because I already pinned myself. I am pinned at the moment. So
yes.
Yeah, I pinned you too.
then maybe it was unpinned later on.
Yeah, so perfect. So yeah, so that everyone can see the screen bigger as you show us the SWOT analysis. Yeah.
So when we think about, to understand, as you mentioned, the benchmark, other providers, we need to understand the market as well. So if we start certain operation newly as a startup company, or we are opening a new market for a certain business, then the first thing what we are going to do is definitely going to be make a certain analysis. There are plenty analyses available. SWOT is probably the most known one, and it also provides at the moment data. So what SWOT stands for? Now you will help me.
Strength.
It's strengths.
Weakness.
Opportunities.
Opportunities and threats.
Very good. So when we do the SWOT, we get the key things. We know when we are strong, where we are strong. We also know where we are weak on the market. And the most important, we see possible opportunities. Now, of course, we need to check who else is on the market. And we can Google, we can analyze, you can get data from the business chambers, you can get data from the industrial chambers. So you can get a lot of companies that are operating in the same field as we do. Now, of course, it's important to learn more about them. Either you only check the website, today a lot is there, there are social accounts, or you actually visit the company and you speak with them. You try to understand what they're doing. That's probably the best way. You will also get the feeling about the service, how they are serving their customers, because that will give you the opportunity how you can improve the service, because you can sell the same service as somebody else. If we take, for example, hotels, there's so many hotels. There's so many similar hotels, many on the beach, many with a certain distinguished offering. But still, at the end, we prefer to go to the one specific hotel because we have been served personal, because they remembered our name, because they remembered what we would like to have, because they helped us when something was wrong. So we are coming back because of the people in many cases. So in this case, even if you are offering exactly the same thing, product or service, we may distinguish ourselves by the way how we do that. So by your people. That's why coming back to the benchmark, try to get whatever is possible from the market, analyze, try to see who are the main competitors. But I highly recommend you, if you can, go and meet those companies, or at least contact them by phone, because then you are going to see how they are actually operating. So what is the key point? Would that help? Was that in the way what you have been expecting? Now, I don't see the... Ken, is this helping regarding the benchmark? Now I don't see your...
Yes.
Who was asking?
Zahra, I think she got disconnected and she's gonna join.
Ah, that's probably the case, yeah, because I cannot see her. Okay.
Yeah, Zahra.
So even when we are going to work on the strategy, just think about SWOT is a kind of, it's almost a base. It's like putting data on the paper. So visualize it. That's always helping us. If we put the data from our heads to the paper, then we see it as well. And it's much easier to work upon it. There are many other analyses in addition. So they could be K-cross, which is adding emotional part. There are pest analysis. It's involving also the risks on the markets, political risks, economical risks. But we use analyses that are relevant to us. So whatever you're going to start, SWOT will be probably the base, would be the first step. Now, if you allow me, let's go to check one, vision, mission, and strategy formulation. And then we will go later on into how can we do it by ourselves. And if it's any other questions, please just ask. So we can see already the slides?
Yes, we can.
Great. So here we said the key questions for us are where we are now, where we want to come, and how we are going to come there. Now, let's check. Talking about the hotels, we've taken one example from Kempinski Hotels, well-known chain, probably present in most of the countries, definitely in Europe, in all the countries, but also here in the Middle East. We have it on the Palm, Kempinski as well. So we have it in Jumeirah, if I'm not wrong. So in Mall of Emirates. So we have quite a lot of Kempinski here around. What is their vision? They want to be known, offering luxury hospitality with the kind of European style. So they want to show this grand European style. That's their vision. This is what they communicate internally as well with their people. The way how they behave, the way how they serve may not be always the most fashionable, modern, progressive ones, because they want to keep this European flair, this grand old style. So it's probably tradition, is going to be one of the key points for them. How they communicate that to the client, so outside. They also say that we want our customers to experience this excellence and value individually. So it's not like mass hospitality, mass tourism, but it's really done for everyone particular. So if you have a wish, even the most different, outraged wish might be addressed, and you would at the end experience this excellence. What's their strategy? They said, in order to achieve the vision and the mission, we want to be known as the most desirable and luxury hotel collection. It's interesting how they put it there, because in some markets, they want to be a market leader. And in some markets, they know they cannot be market leader, but they want to be this special. They even said the trophy hotel. So unique, something that really people would go to if they're searching for desirable and luxury experience. They also want to create sustainable value to all stakeholders. They're privately owned companies, so the owners of the company want to have on the long-term basis sustainable revenue back. People working there should also be able to grow sustainably, and this also comes together with the new technologies, adoption of the new ways that they are skilled. And it's interesting that the last part of their strategy is, I excluded the word heavily because it was long, but they say that they're heavily investing in talent selection, training, and education of their people. So this also is emphasized, that whenever they're adopting new technologies, they are at the same time aware that their people need to be trained and upskilled. And they're putting a huge value there, because the hospitality business is a human business. It's a people business. We can have nice rooms and a great decoration, but if the people are not going to be right, delivering the service genuinely and at a high level, we are not going to achieve our vision statement at the end. They also said that they want to have decentralized approach. So it's not one approach set in Switzerland and then served all around throughout the world, but they actually said, we allow our managers who are sitting in specific countries to adapt according to the local values, local expectations, and really adopt them and adapt Kempinski offering accordingly. So they have pretty much free hands how to implement the strategy. So it's the hotel managers have very high responsibility in order to deliver the strategy that is going to achieve the vision set from the whole chain, Kempinski. Questions, comments at this point? So what will be our next step? We said, now we want to try it out, right? We need to be able to create the strategy by ourselves. So because we spoke about, Mariam, please go ahead.
So I understand the difference between the vision and the mission, but I feel like Kempinski's vision and mission, they're kind of, the difference is vague. Do you get me? So, I don't know. I feel like if we swap them, I wouldn't notice the difference. I wouldn't tell this is the mission and this is the vision. So am I correct, or would you?
Very well observed, Mariam, very well observed. And let's just go back here. You're very right. So vision and mission are commonly pretty much close to each other, because vision and mission actually explain the purpose. The purpose is why we exist, and the vision tells the goal where we would like to come. And the mission is actually explaining this, why we exist on the market, to the outside world. Vision is often used internally for our people to drive them, to inspire them, to drive the strategy, but the mission is often explained more to the outer world, so to the market. But both together, very true, Mariam. That's very often so close together that if it wouldn't be stated that's vision and that's mission, it's sometimes really difficult to distinguish if it's not stated, very difficult. Yeah. And they should be aligned because they are both explaining the purpose why we are existing.
So I have another question. So are they supposed to, like, for any company, are they supposed to like be like, obviously have any, how can I phrase it? Like, is there supposed to be a very clear difference between both of them, or is it normal, like in Kempinski's case?
It's normal that they are close because here we have the purpose of the company, which goes into two directions, vision and mission. Vision, it's more what we want to achieve, where we want to be in the future, and it's often used internally. And the mission, although it's everything is stated on the, websites as well. And the mission, how we communicate our purpose to the market.
Yeah.
But there are companies which wouldn't actually state the purpose at all. And they would just have the vision and the mission. So the vision would be what we want to achieve long-term based in terms of we want to be the best luxury chain worldwide. That would probably be a possible vision for Kempinski. And the mission would be how you're doing that. So how you're showing the purpose. We are offering to our clients the best luxury experience in our unique hotels, for example. So they are close together, they are connected, definitely. It's just if we don't identify the purpose itself, then the vision is going to show the final goal, what we desire in the future, and the mission, how we are delivering this to the market.
Yeah.
So would be, but you are very right, Mariam, that this is going to be in many cases, if you look at them, will be very, very similar.
Yeah.
So here it's, we offer luxury hospitality in the Grand European style, but here it's what the people are going to get. They can expect excellence and value individually, which is, it's like a result of it, more or less.
Yeah, that's right.
Very true. Good observation, Mariam. Yes.
Thank you.
Now, because we spoke about the hotel, I've also chosen the hotel for our case so that it's going to be like, let's say, easy for all of us to put ourselves into this perspective. Is just, we are talking about boutique hotel. So a small, nice, family-run boutique hotel. You may be a co-owner of it, on the beach where you would really like to provide something special. Now it's 1 hour and 10 minutes since we started. We said that we will have a break in between. Nadia, please help me. Shall we have a break now before we go into the breakout rooms? Because if we would plan a break, that would be the best timing.
Yes, I agree with you. So perhaps we can have a break of 10 to 15 minutes max.
That would be excellent.
Yeah. Can we stick to perhaps 10 minutes, guys?
Yeah, sure.
It's fine for everyone, 10 minutes.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect. So now it's hour and 10 minutes, so hour and 20 minutes, we are back.
Yeah. You can please mute yourselves, close your cameras if you'd like, and you can leave it open on your computer, so you don't have to log in again.
Thank you very much, Nadia.
My pleasure. Okay.
stopped recording. So we'll share again. We are talking about the strategy of the small boutique hotel. This is how it should look. We really want to make it special, personalized for people. And you see the hotel is on the beach, so it has its own beach. The hotel management or owner, or maybe it was you already there before, you already prepared the vision. So the vision is that you want to be the guest's first choice by aiming to create everlasting memories. And you see through what? Through personalized services. So it's something really about personalization. What's the mission? The mission of the hotel, it's really to provide genuine, as it stated, heartfelt hospitality. So it's real. It's not something artificial, but really real, that will engrave into the experience, as it stated, in the heart and in the mind of every guest. So it's really something very personal. Now, which values the company has, and we hope that people are really living them. So they say we are original, so originality, original in every aspect, in the way how we serve, in the way how we approach the client, in the way how we approach the market. We are unique, so we want to be unique. Again, think about uniqueness in all the aspects. We respect not only our clients, but also each other when we work. So we respect everyone. We are open for everyone and we respect everyone. Every individuality, every aspect, cultural, race, nationality. So we really respect everything. Ambition, we have high ambition. We really want to achieve our vision and we are willing to go ahead of or to run an extra mile to really achieve this vision. And we do care about the environment as well. So environment, sustainability, it's something that is important for us. This may also impact the target clients on the other side. What is still missing for this small boutique hotel is a bit more concrete strategy. So what we are expecting, what to do. You will have 20 minutes time to prepare a short strategy, how you would work, how you would operate in this hotel. And it's think about how we can achieve the vision to really be the guest's first choice whenever they think about, everlasting memory. And think about the life moments that really stay with us forever. It's probably not only the marriage, could be the birthdays, could be really the life moments that stays with us. Maybe we can offer something for such of life moments. So really think about how to achieve the vision set for the company. Then who would be our target customers? Is this individuals? Is this families? Is really think about what would fit best, who would be our target customers? How can we deliver this unique and original service? So how can we really be different to the others? What offering, and especially how people can do it and behave? And think about the operational view, how we can deliver this genuine hospitality, what that means, what kind of, how or where we need to skill the people, but also think about technology if it's necessary. So here will be no right or wrong. It will be more to see, use your creativity, what approach would you take? But those questions below, those 4 questions in red, are something that are going to lead you toward, let's say, a certain solid strategy. We are not talking about strategic business objectives that you will say, we want to grow 20% in this area. It's not about that. First is really a strategy itself, and later on we can check what KPIs would be useful. Questions from your side?
Yeah, do you already have a target audience for this hotel? Should we Okay.
This is, yeah, that's part of the strategy. So this is what you will choose. So at the moment, the only thing what they haven't started to operate yet, is those 3 points in black: vision, mission, and the values. Strategy, who is the target audience? What can we offer? It's not yet there. What special events? Where can we be really genuine? That's why use your imagination. There is nothing wrong. Don't be afraid to be bold in your strategy, to really think outside the box. That's why 20 minutes, I'll come to both groups later on. And if you will need additional 5 to 10 minutes, shouldn't be a problem either. So if you want, feel free, or maybe I can post this to the...
I shared it to their group. So
okay,
everyone
excellent.
has the picture already. Yeah.
That would be great. Thank you very much. Perfect. Yeah, otherwise, I thought maybe you can just make a picture just to remember the points.
Yeah.
So how are we going to work? We'll go to the 2 breakout rooms. Please prepare the strategy, how to achieve the vision. We'll have 20 minutes time from the beginning. We can prolong for additional 5 minutes if necessary. Please decide in the group who will present the strategy later on back to the whole group. So will be 2 presentations of approximately 3 minutes. How to present? If you want, you can prepare a slide or you can just explain. No need to write down. It's your choice how you want to do it. Any questions? Anything I was not clear, please go ahead. You don't need to worry about the timing. I'm going to let you know when it's 15 minutes, so that you know if there are 5 more minutes available.
Okay. So I think they're saying all is clear. Clear by Kevin. All is good with Mariam.
Perfect. Then let me set the breakout rooms.
Okay.
Just take automatically, and we have each note taker in different one.
Perfect.
Okay. So I'm starting now the breakout rooms, 20 minutes time. Good luck with your exercise.
Thank you so much.
We can talk about them from the operational strategy if we want, that we are going to deliver operationally on the floor. We can say local sourced food. We can say the human resource part. We can talk about the human resource part. That is the employees choosing local citizens to deliver this right culture, the unique one here. The hotel treating its employees in a very good way in order for the employees to treat the customers in a very good way. What else? Delivering the experience. We can also, about the marketing part, we can include the family orientation, that's places for the kids, places for the family to gather all together, playing areas maybe. And the hospitality should be authentic, and authenticity must be there, of course. And maybe they want to show the heritage of that, and focus on this experience to leave it as a memory in the minds of all the customers who are going to visit this hotel. What else? And they can focus on the location. They can focus on the location that is very near to walk into another shops that they might deal with as the boutique hotel. They are going to choose a location maybe with a specific view, maybe with a specific architecture, specific art, showing this local art, and delivering this uniqueness. However, if we can speak about the suppliers, we can choose local suppliers, local ones. From the business side, this might be cheaper because always choosing local local suppliers is much cheaper and good for the financial part of the business. And on the other hand, suppliers will be delivering us the feel of this culture and the environment, and this will be fast delivered, of course. And that's it.
Bravo, Christine. Well done. Really nicely presented, and bravo to the group number 2. So very interesting how you have taken it's. You also have very broad spectrum of the target audience, which means probably operationally will be really important to split when for families, when for the business, when what. But this is, of course, up to you then, because you went very openly, which means you have much more chances to fill up the hotel so that you have enough people and that you can still then organize certain events in different corners so that they don't jump into each other, if we put like that. So very nice strategic focus. It's like strategic programs that you would like to deliver. And we will, I wrote few of them down so that we can check later on how to finalize, so how to put the KPIs to them. So well done job, group 2. Let's go to group 1.
Hey guys. Okay, we also of course, chose our target customers first, which are couples. Our hotel will be especially target for couples in a romantic getaway. That's why to achieve our vision in the personalized and match personalized service, we will focus on them in their experience in the hotel. So not only the atmosphere and the decoration will be romantic and comfortable for them to feel welcome and already in the mood of their romantic getaway, but also the service, completely customizable and personalized service. So a lot of activities for couples, from the spas, from the service in the spas, especially for couples, because usually most of the hotels here, they don't have a lot of options for couples. So ours will have a lot of options for couples. And private, we will offer, besides the hotel, the in-house restaurants, we also offer private dinners if they do wish to book for it. And also, the service part as well, we will have like a partnership with freelancers and guides for clients that want to make a tour in the city. And then talking to this freelance guide, they can actually decide what they want to visit and customize their own tour. Or not, if they don't want to choose and they want something ready, they will have also an option. For couples that are celebrating their anniversary, we will also offer gifts, couples massage in the spa, a lot of privacy for them. And of course, the room that I already mentioned about the decor, which is very important since it's a couple's romantic getaway. Also decoration, very huge bed, fluffy bed, comfortable bathtub in the bathroom, great room service and the turnout service, everything they need. And okay, other than that, also very important, the operations and also in the hospitality that we are focusing on, a lot of training for the staff of the hotel. You also mentioned like maybe a short course and an in-house photographer for them to take pictures of the couples and even give a souvenir when they check out of a picture of them, maybe in the beach or something, a very nice picture gift. Also, besides the training, of course, always be very careful with the staff. They have to be always very groomed, always smiling, very polite towards the guests. And should they need, they should solve any problem they have, because our aim is their experience here. So we are focusing a lot of on our customers' experience here. So it has to be great, unforgettable, and they just need to relax and have fun and enjoy. Okay, so we were talking about the service and the operations. Yeah, like I mentioned, the operations part, especially the training of the staff, the marketing part, the operations, the marketing part, of course, we should search for the proper channels so we can send our message, the hotel's mission and vision in the proper channels for tourism, especially blogs that talk about couples travelings, and don't need to mention the Google search engines, optimization and stuff like that, of course. So yeah, mostly it's group. Please help me if I forgot something.
I think you said it all.
Yeah, okay. I've been nervous, so.
No, you're great.
Well done, Marilia, and Group 1. Great points. It's also interesting because you focused on the couples, which means it's very important what you said at the end. The marketing strategy will be probably key because your, let's say, target audience is smaller, but with the proper channels, as you mentioned, probably alliances with, I don't know, wedding event planners and so on would probably help a lot to, because you mentioned when I was in the group, I heard that you were talking about honeymooners as well.
Yes,
so
exactly.
Capture those areas. So really interesting. We see that we have the same hotel, same environment, but we took two totally different strategic areas, if we put like that, or at least from the target customer point of view, you have distinguished in both groups. And both can be successful and both can work well. It's just important that now those, let's say, strategic imperatives or strategic programs, that we set them in a certain measurable way, because it's nicely set, but if we are not able to measure, then we know how it is. Nothing is going to happen, right? So we need to have something concrete to follow up. Now, let me just change here. And you will see that some of your strategic goals or programs are stated here. The upper part are from the second group, the lower part from the first group. Now, just as an example, we said we need to be able to measure that as well. So you said, for example, offering local sourced foods. Really nice example, because you want to deliver experience, you reasoned well, it's usually cheaper. You also mentioned in the group that you might get some subsidies from the either municipality or from the country government, which is great. You are really thinking in all the perspectives. So good point here. And how can we put a specific goal if we say offering locally sourced food? And probably also the quality of the food will be much better because it's freshly ripe and then put in the kitchen or on the plate. So what would be a feasible, let's say, a good quality goal in this area?
You mean like only offering traditional dishes with the food they have here?
That's possible. Or you can say that we need to have, I don't know, agreement with the local producer for all key food segments, like, you know, meat, dairy products, cereals or flour. So you can actually specify, we need to have 1 or 2 suppliers. So just to be on the safe side, if one supplier, so it's more concrete in this case. It's great that you said offering locally sourced food, but now here will come certain strategic objectives. And may not be only one, it can be more. So one could be that every food segment, we need to have at least 2 local suppliers so that we mitigate the risk if somebody has, I don't know, something attacks or has the food or the supply, it's not of good quality, that you have still the other opportunity. And on the other hand, it's also, you are more flexible with the price if you have at least 2 suppliers, right? So a concrete example, it's only an example. I'm not saying that that's the goal. So example could be to have at least minimum 2 suppliers in the food group, if we put like that. Like meat, dairy, cereals, or flour, or carbohydrates, so that it's really that we keep certain risk mitigation throughout the operation, so that it doesn't happen at certain point that we would like to serve a certain food which is local, which is seasonal, but we cannot source the ingredients. That would be quite bad, especially if we advertised before. Then you mentioned customized service. You mentioned the spas for the couples, anniversary events. So how we can here set a clear objective? So what could be an example of the concrete objective?
Setting a coupled beds for rooms for the couples, for example.
Very good point. So that all, or at least majority, or you can say 60, 70, 80% of all available spa amenities are created for the couples. Very good point.
Yeah.
Good point. Thank you, Christine. So would be, you tell me the percentage. How many?
You know, 70%.
70 to 80, I think, because they are targeting the couples as a target customer.
Yes,
Yeah, but sometimes you always have somebody that, I don't know, one of the people in the couple wants to do something and the other one prefers another. So, okay.
Yeah, that's why we're leaving the other 20 or 30%.
Very good, very good. So this is now measurable, because then we know that this needs to be arranged. So that means people will need to work toward that goal. Then of course will be also performance. So probably you would like to plan, especially here when you have the couple spa treatments, how much revenue you would like to get from the spa couple spa treatment. So it's also a possibility that you would say that you target that, I don't know, 50% or 70% of all the revenues connected to the spa would come from the couple spa treatment. So percentage of the revenue. It's also a possible target, because this is going to impact your marketing strategy, what you are going to market, what is going to be on the websites, what you are going to share with the people. And it's those, let's say, concrete strategic business objectives with the KPIs, so with the numbers, are of key importance. And it's very possible that you say we are starting to operate now, and it's our goal that 80% of spa facilities will be meant for couples within next 3 years. That's possible, because first you are going to offer the services, you will see what kind of people are coming, who are actually your target customers, are they really the one that you planned, how much revenue, who is spending more, who is less. So you can always adapt your strategic programs accordingly. And this is also one important thing in strategy. We shouldn't change the strategy every year, because then people are confused. Then they don't know what we are targeting now. Is the couples or the families or what? So strategy should be there for a longer period. But of course, some of the strategic programs we can adapt according to reality. We need to. It cannot be that we insist on the strategic programs for the next 10 years and then the business is going down. So of course, this is all live. We need to adapt accordingly, but we also need to set really challenging goals that it's for us inspiring, not easy to achieve, but something that we are really working towards it. So it's based on those points, the next step would be create the concrete goals that we can measure, so KPIs next to it, and the milestones. What needs to happen in the first year? What needs to happen in the second year, in the third year? If we start operations, it's probably after 6 months, or maybe already after 3 months, would be a certain review. What we learned, what can we adopt, what can be changed or should be changed accordingly. So that would be regarding strategy, the next step. So that is done, but it's the part that you did. It's actually the most difficult part because it's really to find out where we want to focus, what we want to offer, what we really want that our customers are going to feel. Now your comments and questions.
Can we say that first we set the whole strategy, and under the strategic goals that we want to reach, we can test them one by one, like set a period of time to test the first goal and see if it's successful or not. And for the second, we can set another specific time, maybe 6 to 12 months for each and every goal.
Yes, we can, especially when it's, let's say if we are startup company.
Yeah, exactly.
If we are startup company, we don't have the experience, so we don't have the reference. So it's really good point, Christine, what you said. It's probably we are going to test, we will see how it's going, but what is important, don't stop testing too early. So then it's important to set like 1 year time. How it's going in a year time, not after a month, oh, this doesn't work, let's change. No, we need to be persistent because it takes time that people get used to us. It also takes time that, you know, the word of mouth goes around so that they would start recommending us, but do take at least 1 year. And hospitality business, this is, let's say, it's a tough business and it doesn't show results over the night. It really takes time. So good point, Christine. Yes, definitely. It's probably every year we check not the strategy, but we do check the strategic programs. Because the strategy in this case, it's really growth. You would probably said we want to reach in 1 year time, I don't know, €1 million, $1 million or something revenue. And then those strategic programs are going to help us to achieve this revenue. More questions, comments?
Again, like if you are like startup with like new idea, it's more like the acceptance of the market to your new idea. That's why it's like maybe it takes more than a year, 2 years, maybe 2 to 5 years. So people gonna be more open or accept you in the market or your idea. So that's maybe like the same thing as Christine said. It takes time. Or maybe after that like a period, you can maybe adjust or adapt your idea to the needs on the market, not like about your specific idea or something like this.
Bravo, Nadia. Absolutely, absolutely true. It really depends also in which industry you are operating. It's very true what you said, to make business, let's say, profitable, successful, it takes more than 1 year, definitely. Maybe service businesses when we don't need so much investment, capital investment, might be faster. But whenever it's a capital investment like the hotel, hospitality, wherever you need assets, premises, production, then its practice shows 4 to 6 years.
Yeah, but even with service, they say if you break even in the first year, you're lucky because it takes time. And also you need to create this brand awareness and everything that comes with it. It's not easy, unless you're really, really lucky.
Especially if like you are in a business that already exists, like let's say like coffee shops. Like we can say like coffee shops like open, new ideas pop up and shut down like quickly. But like rarely you can find like a coffee shop who like stick to that theme or that idea and like keep it for more like 2 years, if I may say.
Sometimes it's a placement. I mean, where is at the location. Sometimes a lot of people, they don't even do the business plan when they open their business. So they don't even know what they're doing. Sometimes it's just unlucky. For example, now a lot of people open restaurants and cafes now in the beginning of the pandemic. I mean, even if they do everything right, I mean, it's the context of the economy also affects everything.
Very true what you said. Yeah, yeah. And unfortunately, it's a lot of people would start without the business plan. And they may be lucky, as you said, and they will succeed because they have the right location or they have the right people in the shop. But unfortunately, practice still shows if we are not well prepared, we are preparing for failure. And that's not good. That's not good. So at least, or Nadia, what you mentioned before, if we have something new, market doesn't know it yet, then again, from the practice, please spend more time researching the market, start teaching the market about the certain service, and then start operating, because it's probably going to save you quite some money. When we open the company, we hire the people, then operational fixed costs are running. So that means it's for us every day a struggle to really cover. And as Marilia, you mentioned, if we are break even, we can be really, really happy. Absolutely true. Sometimes even the year two, definitely.
Yeah, guys, I think we still only have 5 minutes into the session, so please use the time wisely. Let us take one last question, perhaps, if you have a question for Barbara regarding strategy or all is good, all is clear.
And probably just the final word for us. Yeah. Oh, please, please, Mariam. Sorry.
No, I was saying I'm good, Denny. Everything's very clear. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mariam. Then like the final word, if we just summarize. So it's like every company, what we said, if we compare the company with the ship, if the ship is not just turning in circles, we need to have a certain way where we want to go. So this North Star is the vision. Then vision and the mission, as Mariam, you mentioned before, this is so close together because vision is for us to inspire us internally to really focus on how to achieve the goals. And the mission will normally show the market what we are going to offer them. But both are actually our purpose of why we exist. In order to be able to come to the North Star where we are aiming, we need a strategy. So strategy is really a plan. It's a foundation, it's a groundwork, how we are going to achieve the goals. And the best, what you did was actually you tried out. There was a vision, there was a mission, there was a private hotel, and you created two totally different strategic approaches, but really interesting approaches. So you made some thoughts, you saw how it's working. It's not finished here. Of course, we need to make them measurable, clear, so that we can follow up, that we can check, that we can fine-tune in certain areas. But of course, at the end, it's important. If we prepare well, we have a chance for success. If we don't prepare, we are prepared for the failure. And that wouldn't be really good. So I do hope that some of you will have the courage and boldness to say at certain points, I would like to set up my own company. I would like to utilize that really in the practice. Otherwise, wherever you are going to land, wherever you are going to work, with whoever you are going to be in interaction, you know what means strategy, you know what means corporate framework. So you are legitimate to discuss with them how they are organized. And do share the knowledge with whoever you are, because if we can help somebody, this is just going to come back positive to us as well. So wishing you really all a lot of success now in eBen work, but also later on, wherever you are going to work and operate. So it was really fun to be with you. Really appreciate that you are so open.
Thank you so much.
And interacting. So you are great, great group.
Thank you so much.
So much, Barbara.
Thank you, Barbara.
It was amazing having you. We learned so much. So we appreciate everything, the presentation and the breakout rooms. I love the practice. I hope everyone benefited from it. I certainly did. So it was an exciting activity, and definitely thank you so much for joining us and for presenting this topic to everyone.
It was a pleasure. Thank you. So Nadia, I will send to you the presentation and the link to the recording, and then you will take it from that point on, right?
Yes, perfect. I will share the presentation with everyone alongside the presentation. If I can ask you to stop recording right now, because I did a mistake once when I closed the session and it disappeared and I didn't have my recording.